Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to our 92nd episode of DevChatter. We are getting darn close to our 100th episode. We are going to have to plan something special for that one. I don't know yet what it's going to be. But hello everybody, welcome. I see a whole bunch of people, familiar faces saying hi. Welcome everybody. It's lovely to see you all here. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I hope you're having a great part of your day. I know we have a lot of people here from Europe, plenty of people from the US, some people in South America, maybe we've got a Canadian or two, I don't know. We may even have some people in here from Asia or Africa, but I don't see anybody in the list that I know of that's from those places yet. But welcome everybody. We're going to be doing some code. Obviously I started a little bit without you guys, I apologize about that. I will review what I've been doing. We're gonna take a look and see what we get. Thank you for the follow, user. I know you've been here before. I'm kind of surprised. I figured you would have already been in the follow list, but must have missed it. Anyway, hopefully everybody is here and ready for some interesting C# coding. I'm hoping that we only use a little bit of time for our getting these dependencies working. So the reason I started without you guys is that I thought there might be some head banging against wall time period trying to figure things out, which I didn't think would be great to have as a whole bunch of the streams, so I wanted to get a little bit started. I will catch you guys up on what I did and let you know essentially where we are now. We'll figure a couple of things out, and if I spend too much time banging my head against the wall trying to make this stuff work, just yell at me and we'll switch over to doing something else because we have other branches to work in. So the quick background on what we are doing here today. What we've got is, for anyone who's new, welcome, hi, my name's Brendan, you can see it right here below my name. This channel here is DevChatter. We are a whole community of people. I'm the host of the stream, but there's a whole bunch of extra people that do all kinds of things that make DevChatter awesome. If you want to find a lot of those people, you can catch a whole bunch of us on the Discord, which doesn't run because the bot's got the error right now. That's the bot that would post the link. Anyway, I will post all those links in a little bit, or you can find them down below if you're here on the Twitch stream. There are panels for things like our Discord, which you can find down below, and we also have all of our code is out on GitHub. So let's give a quick explanation of what we're working on here. So, the code we're working on today is actually our chat bot, and that's the bot that will be talking in the chat once we make it run again. The thing I like about building the actual chat bot that we use here is that it gives the chance for us to interact with the code that we're actually building on stream. So if you guys want to try something, you can do that immediately without spinning up your own instance of the code, because you can just kind of engage while you're still watching everything we're doing here on the channel. So, when we built it, we started this project out as a console application. Let me show you the whole project. We had a handful of class libraries and a console application. Everything's written in C# and .NET Core. After a little while, we said, hey, you know what? We've gotten to the point where we actually need to add in our inversion of control container, so our IOC container. And essentially what that is, for anyone that doesn't know, is it's code that manages the other dependencies of our other code. So it knows about what types and things like that we use elsewhere in our code. So, for example, if I'm writing some code and I need access to data, I can just in the constructor of my class say, hey, I need an iRepository, and it will give me an entity framework repository. And the IOC container knows whenever someone asks for one of these, give them a repository that connects to Entity Framework, and that wires up nicely. So that's what our IOC container does. The first one that we used in this project was actually Autofac. But in our conversion to ASP.NET Core, we wanted to simplify things a little bit. So we pulled out Autofac, and we're like, let's just use what's in ASP.NET Core, because we know that Microsoft gave us a nice IOC container. Let's see what it gets us. So we put that in there, we said, hey, let's give it a try, and it worked, but it was coming up a little short for us. So we want some more modularity, a little more control, and a little more scanning of assemblies. So we want some of it to work for us. Till, welcome. Stool Penner, hi. Triple Diamonds, hello. Rexy, hi. Coated Beard, welcome. SNB, Faco Rodriguez, Arid Tag, I'm guessing Zuhome, a whole bunch of people, hi, welcome. Oh, you took a look at the repository pattern. Yeah, isn't our repository pattern really interesting? If you've seen that normally, there are a lot of complaints about repository patterns from people. But if you take a look at the one that's actually in our source code, you will find that most people's complaints don't apply to the way that we have our data access implemented in this project. It's a really cool one. We've done a couple of streams where I've talked about it in the past, and we will take a look at it a little more later. Anyway, so we have an error on the screen, and I want to take a look at what it is. So let's let's jump in and resolve this. So I am going to dig down and find out what the actual error is, because yeah, there's a couple of nested inner exceptions here. Just one or two, huh? Alright, let's take a look at what we've got. None of the constructors for... So it couldn't find bot main iFollowable system. Okay, so it looks like that's a dependency I didn't get wired up. So some of these dependencies did not, I have not got wired up. So I'm switching this over. Oh, yes, exactly. I don't have the async methods for them wired up right now. If I get those in there, then the repository will be much better. And welcome anyone that was lurking around in the Code Rush stream. Okay, so let's make these work. So what was it trying to do? It was trying to do bot main. So let's go ahead and stop this. We're going to take a look. Bot main has quite a few dependencies, actually. So this is the one that I would like to limit its dependencies. I want to change a couple of things, but again, I want to finish this part first. So let's make sure that we get all of these wired up. So I know iFollowable system was something it had mentioned in there, so I want to make sure I hard code this one in our startup just to make sure it gets there. And we're going to break these out so they're not just in one list, but for now, we want to get these set up. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to register these types that we're trying to use. So the way that I do that is I tell it, hang on, let's find out what the type is. There it is. So I tell Autofac that I want to register a type. And so I put in a concrete type. And then once I've told it that, I then say, hey, that type, I want to register it as this interface. So anytime someone requests that interface, we're going to give them an instance of those. And I think for this one, for now, we need a single instance of it. S&B, I would be interested in seeing how you set up DI for the iList of chat client. Yeah, so that is an interesting one, S&B. I actually sort of already have that set up. I believe it's here. And then the other piece I'll need is to define the chat client. I think those two will get it. So what you're wondering about is Twitch chat client and iChat client right there. And now I believe it's wired up because I have that and this. I think it's going to be able to figure it out. We'll see. Yes, Maury, the pain was real. We really do get a little bit of pain from this one. We will see. We knew we needed to get rid of it. It's been on the list. Alright, so automated action system is, what is it, an automated action system? Nope. What did I call it? Automation system. That's funny. I simplified the name. I really should simplify the name on the interface. So S&B, yeah, it should work that way. Obviously, haven't run it and had it connect yet, but that's in theory how that's supposed to work. There is a bit of an explanation that I do want to give related to that, though, and that is, hang on, command handler. Okay, so You all may have noticed one thing. I want to give a quick explanation of what's going on here because this code is a little interesting. Up here, you'll notice that I have register generic, and I say type of, and I, do it like this, right? And I'm using a type of to get essentially a type at runtime of this logger interface, and you'll notice that's an empty generic that I've left there. So this is a weird syntax. So in C#, this, without having an underlying, specific generic type in here, is valid in this instance because there really is a type generic logger, right? That's a thing that the language understands. The trick is I cannot use it in like this syntax here. This is invalid because in the case of this is a runtime usage of a type. And so I'm not, referencing metadata here. This is actually, this would have to get defined as something in order to use it. So, there we go. Sorry, let me undo that. So it's interesting, you have to use this syntax in order to get this because the generic works that way. That actually goes back to some old tricks. I had to learn that a long time ago, back when my repositories worked differently. So, in the past, when I would write a repository, I did it the same wrong way that I think most of us have done, and that's where I wrote an instance of a repository for each type that I wanted it to get. So like there's a bounded context, and I would say, hey, I'm going to build a repository for that. And then that's how I would build it. And I think a lot of us did that, and we would write this custom thing for each and every one. And so then we'd say, oh, well, let's make it generic so all the basic stuff is on it still. And so we would be like, this is an iRepository of this type, and that means it certainly has these. And so we would create these, and then you'd say, oh, now I want to register all my generic iRepositories. And it was nasty. It caused problems. So yes, a sufficiently advanced IOC container is indistinguishable from magic. That is correct. Okay, so let's take a look back here. Subscriber handler and a currency. Well, actually, let's find out if it complains about those. I'm going to run it real fast. Let's see what error we get. It'll probably be the same thing, because I haven't gotten them all wired up yet. But I always tell people, just run your code, take a look at what's happening. You'll get a much better answer. So the reason we're having a nest so far down here is that at each level it's trying to resolve dependencies for everything else. Alright, there we go. Let's see, what is this one? On type Twitch chat client. Okay, so see, now it's trying to actually wire up the Twitch chat client, and it's saying, I don't know how to get a Twitch API piece, so it doesn't know how to do that. So let's connect that piece. So we're going to turn this off. We're going to jump over to our Twitch chat client real fast. And over here, it wants a Twitch API, which we are going to tell it about by jumping back to our startup. Where did I register all the Twitch stuff? I used to have a method that did all that. Twitch. Did I get rid of it? I thought I had one that just did all the Twitch stuff. Add TwitchLib connection. There it is. Found it. I must have deleted the line instead of getting rid of it, but this will show me what I need. So this is the old code that used to do this. Where's that reference coming from? Startup. Oh, it was right here. Oh, that's funny. I didn't get rid of this one. Huh. I missed a line. Stool pinner. The coloring of my tabs. That is actually coming. That is a great question. I will actually mention that real fast. So I use an extension in Visual Studio, actually a set of extensions called the Productivity Power Tools. And essentially what this is this is actually a collection of other extensions for Visual Studio that get me a number of interesting little add-ins and extras. So this is just a free extension from Microsoft, and it comes with a couple of nice things. And what do they call that one? It's it's got a weird name. Ah, here it is, custom document well. So it's called a document well, which is why I say it's a weird name. No one thinks of it as that. You say tabs, I say tabs, they said document well. So that's actually the extension that does that, and it does a cool thing that I am a big fan of. So if we take a look, and thank you for that follow there. Productivity Power Tools, Custom Document Well. You'll notice there's color coding for all various different projects that's all customizable, and a whole bunch of other customizations too, like where to put the tabs and things like that. And what it does is I have sorting by project and alphabetically. So what that means is this yellow color here, that is associated with our Twitch project right here. So everything that's that color is this project. Everything in DevChatter bot core is this sort of reddish brown color here. These blue ones over here are down in the devchatter.bot.web project, and so it has them sorted and colored based on which project they're from, so you can get a little bit of information and know what you're looking at and see grouped stuff. So there's a whole bunch of other customizations to it as well. Horkrine, shouldn't it have been type of logger of T? No, we actually can't put a T in there at that time, Horkrine. We can actually leave it empty, and that actually gets the generic type, sans having actually chosen a real value for it. So it's a very interesting thing to understand there. Also, hi Twitchluff. What was that, like a 2-month-long lurk you had going there? Okay, so so we've got services add twitchlib connection. That's not right. We want to do builder dot add twitchlib connection basically. So I'm going to do builder dot that, and that's what is our builder? Container builder. So I'm going to call this it's an Autofac container build. Whoops. We can return the container builder? Yeah, I guess we'll return the container builder. Okay, so now we are dealing with an Autofac container builder instead of the previous services collection. So let me give this a quick rename from services to builder. And we'll wire up all these various Twitch settings because I know we need to create that Twitch object. So TwitchLib is an open source project we're depending on, and I know that one of the TwitchLib people is going to be in our... So they used to actually attend pretty regularly, but I haven't seen one in a while. I know a few of them are busy, but I'm probably going to get yelled at because I'm going to criticize this decision that they made here. Instead of taking in the constructor the client ID and access token, so the credentials that we need in order to connect to the API in the constructor, they made them settings that we have to set after the fact. So it makes it really difficult for me to wire this together. When you name it, you can Control+ to pull the refactor to rename all instances of that. Oh, Control dot to pull the oh, yeah. So I used the ReSharper one, but the Visual Studio renamed is the exact same thing. All renames work pretty much the same. Okay, so I want to register type. Whoops. Why did you get rid of that? Register type. There we go. And then I want to say as... this was as self. It was not defining anything extra. And now I want to say single instance. Okay. Those ones after that are also single instance, so I'm going to leave them as single instance for now. Only because I don't know that I can get rid of it. But we will want to figure that out soon. As I mentioned, we are working on fixing up our dependencies, so we want to get things cleared, and I will show you the style that we're going for eventually. So right now, we're using these little helper methods, but I'm going to set these up as modules instead. So a module is a special way of doing registration, and the idea is that I want this module to live in the project that's getting wired up. So each project will know how to wire itself up. Yes, Maureen, it is always a good practice to put your dependencies in your constructor instead of using property or method injection. That is absolutely correct. That's why I was saying that I wish they had done it the way that I was talking about doing it. iFollower service. The names on these get confusing because there's two separate concepts that we have. So here on Twitch, you might want to have information about the followers, so you can get the followers, and then you also have who you follow. So there's who's following me, and there's who am I following, and those are two separate concepts. So that's why these names get confusing, because they both need to exist, and it's a little weird. Okay, so down here, I want to register. And for this, I just want to register an actual object. So I'm going to register API, and I'm going to say as an iTwitch API, and I'm going to say single instance. Because again, if you are wondering why we're running as a single instance, even though we are a web application, the reason is that normally in a web application, the reason you can deal with getting new instances on each request is that normally you're running as a web page. And we have sort of two separate systems running in our application. One of them is the website, and that we want to work normally. So we're going to have to figure out what we want to do with that. We may need to have two instances of our IOC and essentially treat this kind of like a multi-tenant approach. And if you don't know what that is, that's kind of like if you build a website that can have more than one website, more than one domain in it, that's a multi-tenant approach. And we are going to have to sort of figure out how to do the same thing, because we want the bot to be one application running in a website, but also feel like there's a bot and a website, and they handle dependencies separately. So we're going to have to figure out what we want to do with that. Smartasky, hey, welcome. Haven't talked to you since this morning. Okay, so register, register, what is it? It's instance. Why did you duplicate that? Thanks. Tooling? That was nice. I didn't need that. Okay, cool. So, yeah, this is the... they didn't add this as a constructor now, did they? Nope. See, this is what's in the constructor. There's logger factory, rate limiter, and the callback handler. They didn't actually put the dependencies, like the required dependencies of these parameters. Now, I could see having like a connect method where you took in these values at that point and you said, hey, yeah, you create it, but we don't want to, like, on creation of an object make a connection. So I could see that complaint, at which point I'd say, okay, use method injection. So for dependencies, and we'll cover this more when we do our Solid Saturday on dependency inversion, which is actually going to be our last one. For dependency injection, the priority list is, first is constructors. If you have a dependency, take it in the constructor. Below that, right down here, is method injection. The idea being, anything you need to run my class should come in the constructor, and that's my requirement. The next level down is methods. The idea being, anything required for that method should come in as a method parameter, if it's specific to that method. So in some cases, I could see we need to make a connection, so the information related to connecting, like, say, a client ID and an access token makes sense, might be at a method level. Property injection is the lowest one because there's no explanation of, hey, this is what I need. Whereas normally a method and a constructor, if I go to create it, I'm like, oh, I can see those are the parameters I need to pass. Or I call a method, I can see those are the parameters I need to pass. But if you used property injection like this, where you just set a couple of properties, I have no way to know what I needed to set before I call the method. And so that's why this is not the preferred approach. Okay. Next thing, I need to wire up the chat client, which actually, did I do that over in startup? I may have done that over here. This is our old stuff that I'm replacing. Twitch chat client, followable system. Yeah, those I put over here, didn't I? Yes. So I'm going to drop the followable system out of there. Whoops. Just the followable system. and cut the Twitch chat client over to here. And now, streaming info service is the last one, so let's duplicate that real fast. Streaming service is a Twitch streaming service, and again, that was a single instance. Okay. That is better. Let's give this a try and see what happens. And I will catch up on chat. Are settings really a dependency in the sense of being an interface that has an implementation? I think in some cases, I think it should be on the method. Yeah, so Maurid, I think it should be on a connection method. When you go to connect, that's when you should pass them in. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't have the connection method take in either the individual values or say a... hang on one second. Let me click a button just in case. You guys are on the no peeking screen for a second. I apologize. Okay. It wasn't a problem. My connections did not actually come in. So, settings all came in null. Okay, that's fine. I'm bringing you guys back now. Sorry about that. I don't want to show my OAuth token on stream and have to change my OAuth token, so hence I have a hide screen that makes it so you guys can't look when I have secret information that's basically a password potentially showing up on my screen. I think you'll all forgive me for not sharing all of that with you. Luckily, the values were null, so it didn't matter yet. Alright. Autofac, inner exception. Here we go. The value cannot be null. Okay, so that's the only complaint. It's just complaining that I can't have null when I'm passing in those credentials, so that's why it blew up. That's fine. We will check on our settings and make that work. Twitch Love, hey, long look, don't see new jobs, so have been busy. Hope I can. Oh yeah, Twitch Love. I'm hoping you can make some extra ones too. Yeah. Yes, Triple Diamonds. Not. I know. How dare I not share my OAuth token with all of you? Hey, Crichton. Welcome everybody. Okay, so clearly I need to jump over to startup and I need to mess with how we did our settings. So what I did before was, so I registered an instance of these with our builder, but maybe I need to, hang on, so Twitch client settings, Twitch chat client took in a Twitch client settings. Okay, so I'm going to register this. I'm going to try as self. And see if that suddenly makes it work. And if not, what I'm going to do is I am going to check configuration by dropping a breakpoint there and see what actually, I'm going to do that. Sorry guys, I'm going to no peeking you here for a second. I just want to do that because I want to actually see what values we get back when I do this. Twitch settings, did I get them? Okay, I did. Cool. They actually, so we do grab them from the file. I know you guys can't see that, but trust me, we do. Now let me hit F5 and see if it can wire that up. Okay, so they don't actually come in when we get to here. Twitch client settings comes in as an empty settings object. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so, yes, you hit it exactly. So, yeah, yep. So, my OAuth token, was up on my screen, so I could read my OAuth token, in order to connect to that, and no problem for the question. I just don't want, when I'm debugging, for you guys to just see those tokens, because, these videos get recorded, and so, even if none of you do anything with those tokens, I would then have to go change all of my OAuth. And so in order to avoid that, I just bring up the no peeking screen for a second. And then it just solves the problem. Okay, so when it created this, it did not give me my Twitch client settings, which is weird. So here's what I checked. I dropped a breakpoint here. This call grabs our configuration and brings it in. All the values that we need, including grabbing them from the user secrets file. Oh, yeah. No, yep. S&B is correct. So they are stored in actually even a user secrets file. It's just the challenge is that in the debugger, you can actually see the values at runtime. So I was checking to make sure the values were actually coming in. So I really needed to see if they were there. So, yep. Okay. So this is so this should not be necessary, but I'm gonna try just saying single instance on the end of it. And I'm gonna try it one more time like this before I mess with something else to get this to work. So I apologize about that. Let me just pop that up there. A nice proposal would be to just add a black-filled rectangle so that you can actually... Oh, yeah. Yeah, the trick is that no peeking screen lets me handle whatever comes up. So I don't have to figure out like where on the screen it's going to be. I can just toss up that screen and be like, yep, somewhere on my screen is a value I don't want you guys to see. So it's just an easy cover. Okay, so here's what we need to do. So this value definitely comes in. And it's the Twitch chat client that has the problem. So why does it not want to open that? There we go. Okay. So over here, Twitch client settings. So at startup, instead of as self, I'm going to be explicit. So we're going to say as, and we're going to say Twitch client settings on that one. Yeah. So one of the nice things is when I am over in when I'm on Azure, I actually don't have to worry about that because when I'm in Azure, I have Azure Mask running, and that actually blurs out all the keys and everything on the website for me. So while I'm navigating around, I have to actually like click in it, and then it clears. So it's kind of nice. And yeah, Twitch Love. Yeah, just image recognition to identify secret values that could be anywhere on my screen at any time. Do you actually connect when you hook up the dependency? Maureen, it should connect once that dependency wires up. Yeah, I guess RetroBarrier78. Yep, I use Azure Mask. That's the one. Yep, I had to, I think I might have told Fritz about that one back when, actually, I think I gave him the name. I think he already knew about it, now that I think about it. Let's see, so this is just complaining because we're missing that connection value right now still. So that's why we're getting the error there. So when it goes to register this, it can't find this type. It is one of these. So we add that to the builder. And then when we do our... Where do I call... Not that one. Twitch registration. Where does this get called? You see the line. Add TwitchLib connection, full config Twitch client settings. Interesting. So we passed it in here. So maybe we should just do that here as well. So let's think about this. So in the Twitch chat client, if we open this up, can this is there not a using constructor. Constructor selector. That should work like this, right? Ah, there we go, with parameter. That's what we want. So parameter component. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Where is my chat box? Chat client, constructor, settings is gonna be the name for now. I'm gonna try that and see what it does with it. So we're just gonna do the parameter by name. Yeah, so I do call that at the end. It's down, it is there. Let's give it a try. Cross the fingers. I realize I need to put up the hide window just in case again. I'm at a different spot, so I think that may have worked. Let me find out. Did it work? Did he say anything in chat? No. Okay. Inner exception. Fantastic. Cool. All right, welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that no peeking screen I had to toss on you there. However, we are past that error, so I am going to be slightly less cautious with my clicking of the hide button there. Welcome, Olympic. Thanks for that follow. Thank you, everybody, for the follows today. We've had a bunch of good follows today. Quite the hype there. So glad you're all enjoying watching me mess with my dependencies right now. I was hoping we'd get through this a little bit faster, but... Alright, so the followable system needs its dependencies. So the way I'm wiring this up is, because we're switching out the whole thing, I want to try and just one at a time just go ahead and get them. So that's why I'm doing it this way, because I'm recreating what we had before. So iFollower service and an iList of chat client. iCurrency generator, that's the one it needs. Got it. I was hoping some of these would wire up automatically, but it's clear I'm going to need to mess with these. Kazru, hey, Seb the Third, hey, welcome everybody. Glad to see more people come into the chat. And if you are in here, and I did not say hello to you, and you want me to, feel free to say hi or wave in chat, and I will gladly greet you. So, currency generator. And we're gonna say .as one of those, and for a currency generator, I think we need to have exactly one. Fairly certain that we need to make sure we only have one of these. So we're going to run again, and we'll see what the next issue is. I think the list of chat clients was going to wire up correctly already. One more. Ooh. Actually, I might need to click hide on that. Sorry about that, everybody. We're in a file that uses the connection to Twitch, so I just want to make sure I don't bring up an OAuth token, because this is about setting a channel ID. So channel data must be set before the follower service. Use set channel by ID to set the channel to monitor. That's interesting. Okay. I should be able to bring you guys back for that. I don't think there's anything popping up on screen. Retroberry, yes, single instance would be equal to having a singleton. Hey, Simon, welcome back. Yeah, so we're wiring up Autofac instead of using the IOC container that's built into ASP.NET. We're doing that, yeah, we're doing the native ASP.NET Core one, that's correct. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. But overly using singleton is a code smell. Yes, so Retrobear, that is correct. The challenge is that for some aspects of the bot, we need it persistent because it has to respond to events. So it needs to always be alive. We can't easily recreate some of them yet. There's some complex things that I plan to do to remove some of them. But what you need to remember is that we're doing constant work because the bot is always responding to actions, and it's also running persistent efforts because some needs to be kept alive because we trigger events based on them. So something needs to be long running. In a lot of websites, that's the underlying services in ASP.NET that keep it running and respond and create your controllers. But something in the back end has to be a singleton to create all the other instances. And so that's actually what we need to get to, is figuring out which ones can be which. And we'll decide that over time once we get these dependencies worked out. So, exactly, Zarnel. That is well said. Singletons are a smell because there's a potential they're going to be bad, but not all singletons are bad. Some things need to be. Okay, so when we go to set the ID, so we need channel data set before we use set channel by ID. So this is saying that, I'll just go from channel data. This must be new. Alright, we're looking this up. So, hang on. Yank this onto the screen, and we're gonna say twitchlib. Twitchlib! What's your deal, man? And, welcome. M1D1, oh. I don't know if people just saw the name of who just followed us, but I love the name. Oh, hey, welcome. I love your name. That's good. That's good. That was very clever. That was very clever. Alright, so channel data. Nope. Channel data. No. What? What? Guys? How about you? What? This is theirs, right? Not mine? TwitchLib API services, follower service. Right there, channel data. I know, we're the Twitch... so we sometimes get a TwitchLib guy in here. It has a protected set, so I can't set it. How do I set it, guys? Set channel... Yeah! That's this! What? What are they smoking? That was right there. Right there. Start service if it's null. Channel data must be set before starting the service. Okay, so before we call start. So we must have called start before we called this. But that happens right here. Set channel by ID, and then we call start. That's not async. Alright, I apologize everybody, I have to use the hide thing for this. So, no peeking for 1 second while I get to that breakpoint and we see what happens. Hopefully I hit that breakpoint. And... oh, channel ID was null. Because the follower service did not get its value set. Son of a gun. Why did that not work? Okay. Alright, I know the problem. That's annoying. Alright, so we're jumping back to the startup here. Services, add DB context, services, configure. Get those sections. So we pulled all that out. We set all these as a single instance of these. So it is, seriously, it's these settings that just aren't going together. Yeah, not Zane. I will look at that, but actually it's on our end, not on theirs. For some reason, I registered this instance of this type. So this value at runtime has our settings in it. It has all the settings that we need in order for this to work. But then when we call register instant, for some reason it's not putting it in there. It's not getting access to it. Has implemented interfaces? Doesn't have any implemented interfaces. So confused. What are you guys doing to me? What are you doing? This should work. Instance per dependency, instance per own, keyed, named, unpreparing, properties, auto wire, self, unregistered. Yeah. Registers an instance of a component. Yeah. Any special parameters I can do? Nope. That's an instance. The instance to register. Well then, T simple activated data restriction. Huh. The method with a lambda in it returns a specific instance of the settings class. What are you talking about? Where Twitch left? What are you talking about? Twitch Love, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you tell me, I'd love to know. So this is the one. Takes in that value, takes in one of these. Because I could do this. I could say, I mean, I could do a with parameter again, but I don't like that. Because then I end up just doing this again. And Twitch client settings. Right? So I end up doing that same thing, and I don't like that, especially since I'm hard coding in a string for now. Hang on one sec, because I don't know where it's going to drop me. So let's try running it again. We're all just waiting for the bot to say hello in the channel. Okay, so I have the value in here now. And if that's just another instance of not having access to the settings, I am gonna, you know, rage on this thing. Alright, there we go. Default currency generator. Okay, sounds good. Alright, so let's go over to the currency generator. iSettings factory, I think, is what it doesn't know what to do with, but maybe it's the iChat user collection. So let's find out where the implementation of this resides. So this should be in some tests and right there. So this is not used anywhere, so we did not define this. So let's go back to our startup method. Inside of startup, builder.register type, and it's going to be a chat user collection. Chat user collection, and then we're going to say as an iChat user collection. And that should be the main things required. And this we absolutely need to have a single instance of, because that is keeping track of a set of data that we use across our various commands and things. That's keeping track of who is logged in. So it's watching everyone. Okay, so then the other piece that we need to wire up is not the chat user collection, but the settings factory. So let's take a look. The settings factory should have a reference inside of one of the startups. It's in setup database and takes in a repository. Oh, right! Oh, yeah! I forgot I did that. Oh, that was so cool. Nice. I forgot I did that. Oh, man, that was good. That was smart. I like that. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to duplicate that. So we're going to say iSettings factory. And I don't think that does not actually need to be a singleton. I don't think so. There's nothing about this that needs to be. I'm gonna guess Mafia BK. Welcome, thanks for following. Get settings, so it's just doing this based on a repository, so that's fine. So yeah, that does not need to be. And I do want to go through at some point in the future. We're going to see what needs to be and what doesn't. Okay, so we're going to run this again, and I'm going to see if I need to click the hide button or not, but I will just in case. So sorry about the no peeking screen again, guys. As I said, I just don't know where we're going to hit points right now, just because we are messing with so many things related to settings. I don't want the OAuth token to show up there. We hit an error that I think is unrelated, and I will find out really quickly what it is. We'll take a look. None of the constructors for which thing? So welcome back. We're down in the inner exception of one of these things again. So it's looking for a command handler. So inside of this, it's constructor. So iCommand usage tracker, I think, is probably the one that's killing us. So command handler, let's take a look at you. Looking at you, command handler. So we're going to open this up, and it has repository I know is taken care of. The iCommand usage tracker, though, is not going to be, so we're going to wire that up again. We're going to try and get these all automated as part of modules, and in addition to having them all set up as modules. Ooh, what's the implementation called? Oh man, we did a rename there. Leave myself a to-do. I noticed a problem, but I don't want to get that right now. We'll grab that one later. Not sure if it solves your problem. This is what I was thinking. You register, C, configurator. We might be able to do that. The weird thing is that we're passing in an actual instance. So at runtime, Twitchloff, we have a real instance that actually is of that config. And it really is the right one. So that's what's strange about it. So at runtime, when I'm running this value has all its fields. So I can debug and see everything that came in from the settings file. It's right there. So I'm just passing an instance of a class, essentially. There's nothing special about this. This is literally just a regular C# class. Nothing fancy going on here. So I don't know why it didn't work. But it didn't, so who knows? Okay, so what did we add? We added an iCommand usage tracker. The chat client should be fine. Even though I said IEnumerable, it should be okay with that. I think we've done iList elsewhere, so we'll ask for an iList and it should be fine. I do understand that singletons not always are bad, but when using Autofac, it seems there are loads of them. Coming down to C++ singletons really can lead to horrible bugs. Yeah, so RetroBear, it actually has less to do with that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I need to get rid of some of these, but right now I'm less worried about it. So some of these can get recreated each time. Some don't need to. So builder register C return memory config as actually, yeah, so Twitchloff, yeah, that might work. I'll try that in a minute. iLogger adapter, we definitely have an iLogger adapter where command list, ooh, that, we might need to wire that up. Yep, that's a little weird. I forgot about the weirdness with this one. Register new command list as one of those and pass that in. Okay. So that one's already there. I'm going to build and try to run this, and if we can, Twitchloff, I will try to use that to get rid of the stuff we put in that I don't like. So let me go ahead and toss this up again, and I want to see how this works. I really need to find a way of having a nicer no peeking screen. Maybe one that just shows you me instead of this. A little more interesting that way. So, and going down into the inner exceptions, there we go. And what did we end up with? So again, we're just at a default constructor finder. I think it's looking for the iClock on the currency update, which is fine. We can do that. So let's take a look. So on currency update, which is an interval action, it takes in an iClock in its constructor. So I know we did currency generator and iSettings factory, but I think the clock is the one we didn't do yet. So actually it's right here. Funny enough. So iClock and system clock. And if you don't know why we do those, it's actually because your system clock, grabbing datetime.now, is actually a dependency that people don't think about. And it's actually one that comes into play a lot in our project and might come into play in some of yours. So if you have anything that's based on time, it's really hard to test it if you're not either taking in the date as a parameter or using a system clock style object like this. In fact, I think they may have even added an interface into .NET Core or maybe the .NET Framework so that you can get around this. I've just been building these for years to get around this. If the secure sensitive things are being held in a string, would changing them to secure string help prevent them from being displayed in the debuggers and loggers? Oh, Simon, that is a good idea. I don't know on that one. I would have to check. So let's try running it again. Hang on. Let's see where we get to. Oh, we're on to connecting to Twitch. And hey, look at that. Nice. Everybody see that in chat there? The bot just said hello. Hello, Mr. Bot. Oh, that's absolutely not going to work yet, S&B. Do any commands work yet? No. Okay, so commands aren't working yet, so we still have something else to wire up. But the bot came in and said hello. Yeah, hype was not going to work yet because it would need to reconnect our overlay. But we are able to get it loading now, which is huge. So that in itself is absolutely worth a commit. And then we can go try to fix the suggestion that Schloff was making. Yeah, sorry, Janisku, RPS. Well, the interval messages are working. So that's something. All right, cool. Hey, I'm happy with that. That's wiring up dependencies in Autofac. There we go. And you'll notice I made myself an Autofac branch because I'm like, let's just do this in a branch because at any point I could decide, you know, like, yeah, this didn't work. Let's try this again another time, scrap this, and go back to work somewhere else. So it's why I really love the power of branches. Someone else had a hilarious story that they posted on Twitter that I'm going to mention. They were saying something about, like, struggling to learn Git when they first picked it up. Might have been Corey House that mentioned it, and I thought it was kind of funny because he was like, oh yeah, like, Git was hard, and then I eventually figured it out, and it was great. And it was kind of funny because I was like, oh, weirdly, I had a very strange experience with Git. So like how I tell people that it's easy to switch between Java and C#, I actually didn't have trouble picking up Git, but it's not because I'm like brilliant or something. No, I came from I came from Mercurial and switched to Git. So literally, I was doing the exact same thing. So I was like, oh, that's weird. When I switched to Git, I didn't have problems, but that was only because I was basically already using it. So, any Mercurial fans in the audience? If there's a Mercurial fan, chime up because I love Mercurial. Although I use Git because it mainstream, follow the mainstream. To be honest, I struggled with Git initially. Yeah, so I struggled a lot with Mercurial initially. So the struggle everybody had with Git, I had that with the alternative to Git. So I was just in a different camp. That's like saying I struggled to learn C# and someone else saying I struggled to learn Java. It's like, yeah. And then C# was easy because I already knew Java. So kind of funny. Yeah, no, so wrapping your head around what Git is doing is actually really hard. So anyone in here who's figured that out, you know, go you. It's a challenge. Okay, so chat command received. I'm going to drop a breakpoint there, and then let's find out what happens. Test. Okay, cool. E. There you go. Just grab that. Command test right there. Cool. So perfect. Our command text came in, so we are definitely getting commands. However, I'm betting that we did not get wired up to our actual command handler. So Git is a special confluence of terrible things to start off with. We're going to have a course on this semester when we're using Git. Oh, Kasru, that's awesome! Yeah, I love that your school is actually going to teach Git now. That's cool. Everyone insists not on explaining common workflows, but how it really works. I recommend for anyone that is still studying to just use the basic Git commands: add, commit, push, pull, and checkout. You'll also need the branch command, Seb. The branch command is one other one that you will absolutely want to know. So someone sits down to learn Git and they get a terrible command line and a face full of graph theory. Yeah, exactly, Zarnal. That's part of the problem is Git is a confusing beast. So, but so is Mercurial. They all are. That's how those things work. So, whoa, that was weird. Alright, we're going to stop the bot again because I want to see whether or not this got wired up. So I want to go to where on command receive lives in our codebase. Let's find out. Maybe that didn't work. So I'm going to start up the bot again. This time we're going to catch that breakpoint there. Oh, sorry, Seb. Nightbot's not very smart. Okay. I heard coding. Hey, welcome. Okay, so we got there. Oh, and we got down to here. Oh, we just don't have the commands in there, I'm betting. Okay, so we are getting to the command handler, so this is wired up. And then we looked for a command handler in the list. Is this an empty list? Empty list. Okay, so here's our problem. We got it, everybody. We're good. We know the issue. This command list is coming in empty. So where did the command list come from? This has an empty constructor, doesn't it? Absolutely does. Son of a gun. Oh no, iList bot command. Did this get wired up? We're gonna run this again. Hang on. RPS didn't work, Stoolpenner. RPS didn't work. Tortoise SVN Tortoise Git is great, helping learn. Oh yeah, this totally would be. So, list of commands? Nope. The list of bot commands came in empty. There's why. Okay, so. Let me ask Autofac a question. Autofac, wire up all instances of all implementations of an interface. Of an open generic interface? Not an open generic interface. So register assembly types where that as implemented interfaces. There we go. Got it. So let's go back to startup. builder. Where ends with command as implemented interfaces. Let's see if we can just straight wire up all the commands. And yes, that is absolutely true, Stool. I heart coding. Everyone should spin up Google or Bing or whatever you want to use, actually, I should say. Whenever you've got a question about something. Never feel like you are less of a programmer for going and looking something up. Even if you have an idea on what the syntax is or something like that, you want to take a look just so you can see that you're doing it right. Alright, let's take a look. None of the constructors found worked for whatever thing this is. So, which one was it trying to make? Type bot main can be invoked with the following parameters: currency update, iChat client, iRepository, command handler. Wait a minute, this one was wiring up before. Well, the alternate option is to do it the crummy way. So, I'm going to get rid of this. Let's make sure it still works, and then I'm going to go and just wire up those commands the old-fashioned way here in a second. And I see there's some stuff in chat. I'll catch those in a second, everybody. What the? Wait a minute. This was just running a minute ago. Bot main. Alright, well, we'll take a look at bot main. What's bot main complaining about? This is one of the few things that has a nasty constructor. Subscriber handler's probably the one killing us. I realize that we haven't used this somewhere. Oh, actually, subscriber handler's right there. Okay. Repository, followable system, automated action, command handler, currency update. Thought I got all those. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to change up the type here. Actually open that. I am going to pass in my container builder again. So we're going to say this.container builder, container builder. So we've changed that, and then I'm going to call that builder. No, don't get that. Okay, so now it's going to return this, and then we're going to say dot register type close. Actually, that's not quite the type. There's the type. And we'll say as implemented interfaces on each one of these. And since I think they need it, we're going to say single instance on each one of these. And this will get us our commands. At least this set of them. Then we're going to say as implemented interfaces and then single instance. So let's new line these so they're slightly less ugly. They're going to take up more lines, but they won't be quite as nasty as they are here. Okay. So now we just need to call add currency system over here. Which means I can get rid of currency generator, so I'll replace this with that call there. Okay, cool. Alright, let me catch up on chat. I apologize about that, everybody. Whew. Alright, so the message of the bot were some without a command. Yes, it did stuff that didn't require commands. Chip coding about HubBot. Yes. Random question. Anyone know of any event sourcing solutions such as Event Store, or should I just handball the event sourcing solution with a JSON object database and some queries? Some queues. Seb, depends on what you need. There's absolutely some good event and messaging systems and other things like that. More like transactions that may be played back, such as a bank account statement, things of current balance, pending transactions too. I would look at messaging services, so service buses, yeah. As Simon says, yeah. Enterprise service bus, yes. You'll want to look at service buses, so there are a lot of them. Let's see, nice hub look on Azure. Ever tried Autofac container modules? Twitchloff, yes, we are going to do container modules. That's the plan, yes. Yep, no, we're going to do the modules, so we're going to actually add Autofac to the whole thing. That's the plan. I just want to get this wired up once first. You have as implemented on currency update, or was that intention? Oh, I don't have it. Yeah. Stoolpenner. Currency update does not have an interface, I don't think. Oh, I guess it could be. We're not using it as these, though, so that's why it doesn't need it. So we're not registering it as this interface, so that was actually intentional. Okay, so Twitchloff, do you mean where you make the module per layer and wire up the modules as in composition? So per project, and we do want to go that route, and part of the reason for that is we want to modularize our code a little bit so that different feature sets come in all together. So we can make separate projects for that. So there could be a module for wiring up our currency system, or a module for each game. And so yeah, I'm getting a little bit of stuttering on my end. I'm not sure what's causing it. Let's find out. One good way to test. Click this button. Restart Visual Studio, and we'll find out if that clears everything up. So let me know if that clears up, and if so, then Visual Studio is doing something weird. So here I'm refreshing the page. Okay, so stuttering might have been on my end. Yep, that's how I ended up with my own Autofac implementation, a module for each of the core framework pieces and a set of feature modules. Yeah, so Simon, that's the plan, is to have basically a module for each of the core parts of the application, and then a module for any feature that comes in. So like a big feature that comes in will have its own module that wires up its own dependencies. So now the part you guys are going to laugh about is, for some reason, and I don't know what, I must have some kind of a memory leak or something like that would be my assumption. Because I did check, and when I started up the bot, I don't know if it was when I started the bot, but I will pay attention to that. Visual Studio was using a lot of memory. And I don't know if it was the bot or not, but I will watch my memory while I start up the bot once. So, I mean, in theory, the bot's small, it doesn't actually have that much stuff, so unless something gets out of control with how the dependency registration works, it should be tiny. Yeah. Okay, so funny enough, I've restarted Visual Studio and started the bot again. The part that's nuts, Visual Studio was using 12 gigs of memory. Yeah, 12 gigs of memory. So something was leaking memory somewhere, and I don't know what it was. We'll find out. If it suddenly starts doing it again, then we'll know, hey. Yeah, we can see it over here. It's growing, so we're leaking memory somehow. Ah, it's crazy. We're going to want to look at that. So apparently we did something weird with our dependency registration. Something's like looping or something. Look at it go. Oh man, this is epic. This is amazing. I know. Look at that. Oh, that was awesome. That was pretty good. Is it still going up? Alright, I think it plateaued. I don't know. That is amazing. That is awesome. So we wired up something weird. So we're going to want to take a look at this branch, because something got wonky. So let's figure out what that is, because that's nuts. 4 gigs for this tiny little simple bot that's running a net core even. Like, this should be nothing. So, oh man, that's awesome. Alright, anyway, yeah, that could be. Boxy Baby, you might be absolutely right there. On command received. Did it do anything? Oh, wait, hang on. This one's wired up, right? Coins? Coins. Okay, so some commands are wired up. Excellent. We're going to stop the bot. That's our first command response that we've gotten from the bot since changing out all of its dependencies. So that was nuts. Time to use that memory usage thing. I've never actually needed. Yeah, Zarnal, we'll get to that later. For now, I still want to get the rest of this wired up. I want to complete the transition, and then we'll take a look at what was causing that and fix it. Because what I don't want to do is spend a whole bunch of time doing that and find out, oh, hey, if you just finished this, we would have eventually gotten to the structure we wanted. I want to try to get this piece working first, because I can absorb 4 gigs of RAM. That's not a problem. We got more than enough memory in this computer. Added need of more memory. Thanks, Stoolpenner. Alright, so wiring more Autofac. Autofac dependency registration. Cool, there we go. Alright. We're gonna have to see if we can't track that thing down at some point. So we did add currency system, right? Somewhere? Where did I call that? Add currency system, right there. So I know I did these two. I think we did the chat user collection. Settings, factory, loggers, we did those. I don't think I did that one yet. So, streaming platform. I don't know if we're going to need that. We may. Build builder. Register type. We're going to say dot as implemented interfaces dot, and I'm going to single instance that as well, because I think it makes a persistent connection. And that one is the overlay notification, which can just be that. Okay, so now on each one of these, instead of services dot doing these things, I want to just call them directly, like so. Okay, so add all games. Let's go here. And that's an iService collection, but I don't want that to be a service collection. I want that to be a container builder. From Autofac. So we're going to do that. So it's that, which of course is going to call the heist game. So we're going to wire that one up. And this is eventually going to be a module, but for now I'm just leaving it as this little helper method call that we're doing here. Because I can. And if people don't know what I'm doing here, this is called a Fluent API. Yeah, Suzuna. I know, I told you. There's some crazy thing going on. And also, Suzuna's here, everybody. Hi, Suzuna. Welcome. I'm gonna go watch some videos on the enterprise service buses and then go to bed. So, oh, have a good one, Seb the Third. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, yeah, absolutely. As RetroBear says, man, I have totally made money off this stream. I haven't spent way more money on equipment alone than I've ever gotten on the stream. No, never. What would ever give you that idea? No, rolling in the dough here. That's how these work. That was a joke. Your favorite streamer spends way more money on stuff for the stream than they actually... Well, okay, as long as I'm your favorite streamer, that's probably true. But odds are I'm not your favorite streamer. Register type. This is the heist command. And it's as implemented interfaces and single instance. Ooh, I don't know. I think I'm probably rolling in the dough. I haven't looked to see what that was, but I heard a beep. Oh, Kazru. Oh man, there's a biddy. Thanks, Kazru. That's awesome. Single instance. There we go. Let's see. Register type. Boonk. And then single instance. Register type. Hangman command. As implemented interfaces. And then dot single instance. There we go. Bonk, bonk. And say as implemented interfaces, single instance. That's also a single instance. Yes, for games we do need single instance for now. Because the games maintain some of their own state, so we do need to keep that around. Yeah, exactly, Maureen. You got it. So single instance of the game type, and then, whoops, quiz command, and then as implemented interfaces, and single instance. And the last one is this one, and we'll say as implemented interfaces and single instance as well. So Suzuna, how you been? I noticed you stopped in the chat there. Lise said hi. Don't roll in bits, they're sharp, yeah. Just live in the office, no need for rent anymore. Stool Penner, I hate to break this to you. I am an independent consultant, and I do a lot of mentoring of other teams and things like that, and I'll occasionally go on site, but I actually work from home. So, live in the office is quite literally the truth. So... is it just me, or is it surprisingly relaxing watching someone else doing the coding? It is very relaxing, Simon, to see someone else coding. That is not just you. Oh, yes, good call, good call. I am just going to rename services in this entire file real fast. Builder. Apply rename. Within this document, replace services with builder, and match case. Replace. Yes, I'm a coward. Okay. Let's build again and see what those errors are. Suzuna, actually pretty well. We have some new commands. We're messing with dependencies right now, but when it runs, we actually have some really neat stuff that we started working on. Yeah. So these are the other errors here, but here, let me run the bot. Simple commands. I think our overlay might work right now, actually. We'll find out. I actually don't know if this is going to work. So give me 1 second while I mess with it, and we'll see what happens. The bot said hello. Properties. Refresh. Nope, no hype command yet. Sorry. Oh. Actually, that might have worked. I don't know. So I found out something funny. It's kind of hilarious, actually. I need to track down that memory leak, because I just figured out something hilarious about it. It goes uncontrolled if I'm not debugging. Oh, DevChatter, yeah. So we're starting up some new channels. DevChatter, which is all about, you know, cool deals and stuff. DevChatter, where we talk about decks. Custom document well extension. Yes, there's a custom document well extension. Did someone ask about that? I mentioned earlier, can I please ask? Oh, yes, Simon. Yes, so the tabs up there, they are color-coded according to the project and sorted by that, and it's custom document well, as someone mentioned. The only reason to stay was the hype command. Yes, sorry, S&B. We'll get that working, don't worry. So it's eating all your RAM right now. It should be fixed now, I think. It's not still eating my RAM, is it? No, it's not eating my RAM right now. Visual Studio is only taking up a gig. That's way more normal. No, I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. We'll take a look. That's one of the nice things about coding, is you get to break stuff all the time. So let's watch the leak happen. So, yep, hype doesn't do anything yet. Sorry guys, no hype command yet. Oh, it's probably a stream meta command, isn't it? There are some other things in the productivity power tools. Yeah. I'm going to hop over here, and this is going to be container builder as well. Container builder, and we're going to name that builder. Apply, rename, refactoring. There we go. Now, instead of this, I'm going to say register type. Except we don't want to pass in 2, we just want to pass in that one. And then I'm going to do one of these. Alright, you guys ready for some wizardry? Whoops. Let's try this. As implemented. Actually, I'm just going to do as ibot command. Ah, no! There we go. Fixed. Fixed. There we go. I cheated. Let's see. Any chance someone has built custom document role for VS Code? I don't know, Simon Engineer. Simon, I don't... oh, yes, thank you. Much appreciated. Glad you joined the stream. Shows my that's cheating. Yeah, Stoolpenner. I cheated. I put the long line at the top. Why not use scan assembly for... so, Twitchloff, yes. So I originally actually had that. You might have seen that I did it, but it didn't work quite right. So my intention is to do assembly scanning of those commands. So let's find out what happened. Oh, am I fixed yet? I might not be done. There's some other ones. Hype command is in there, though, everybody. Hype command is in there. So let me do a thing. Do that. Properties. Hang on. All right. Oh man, Janisku, you're on the ball there. There it goes. Yeah. So hypes. Bonk. Yeah. So the leak is still happening. We need to go fix that. But the hype command works again. Sorry, Crimson Green, those aren't in yet. We're gonna need to re-enable those. So, yep, our hype command goes, so that's that craziness there. That's actually HTML5 and JavaScript in a canvas that's up there. So, pretty cool. No, hip3 is not the command for it. And... Yeah, so Suzuna, cooldowns do not apply to me or to Crimson Green. Anyone that's a moderator, cooldowns are not a thing as far as we're concerned. So the cooldown system actually knows to ignore the moderator. So I'm able to override any cooldown, and so is Crimson Green. If you ever want to revisit hype, you should consider multiple origin points for the hype. Yeah, Zarnal. So right now, we actually do have multiple origin points, but it's within a small box. No, that triggered from me. Notice I said it right before he did. See, it doesn't work for him. See, you probably just missed the text of me doing it, and see, Crimson can trigger it. Oh, sorry, Twitchloff. It thought that was a link. Nightbot is stupid. Danger of pasting code. Yeah, so McCullen, I think we have a circular dependency. You are correct. And, register assembly types where... yeah, so the trick, Twitchlove, is that will only get the commands that are in core. We actually had that before. You may have seen I did have that code that was doing that. Whoops. Where was it? It was right about there, but I think I got rid of it. Yeah, I will show you in a second. Wiring up games and meta commands. Hang on. It is right here. I think. Where is it? Startup. I nuked it wherever I put it. Ah, right here. So I was doing it there, and then we adjusted it to assembly. Nope, not that one. Startup. Oh, and here's where I deleted it. So I did have it temporarily doing a where it was of that type thing in there, Twitchloff. We were doing one of those very temporarily, but I might have removed it because we were messing with other things, and I wanted to turn it off just in case, but I can put it back now. Let's see. Yeah, I miss your rating as well. How can I have no idea, Crimson. Does C# have any length restrictions on names? Not really, but Stoolpenner, just don't go crazy. There probably is some length based on some condition, but if you get near that, you're probably doing something wrong. Okay, so let me close that. That should end that. Guy next to me on the bus is... Oh, nice, Crimson Green. Yeah, public transit. Public transit for the win. Although we probably have some people from countries where that isn't actually even a problem. That's not even weird. They'd be like, "What? That sounds normal." Okay, so we're gonna run this instead of services. We're gonna call this builder. Apply rename. So this is going to register instance, simple command, and we're going to say as ibot command. So this should re-enable the Crimson command, the all-important Crimson command that I know you were all worried about not having access to. Everybody, even someone not named Crimson, was really worried about it. That was a joke. Crimson's the only person worried about it. Alright, there we go. Register type. So then these ones. Dunk, 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 dunk. And that one's going to be registered as this type. And this is going to register as an iCommand handler with... Yeah, don't worry about these yet. We will fix all this later. All this will get fixed later. Let me read chat. Gotta read the chat. So that's the command system. Run this. Let's see if it builds. If it does, we're going to start this up. Okay. There we go. Hello, the chatbot is back. There you go. Hey, Kazru, you still here? I hope you're still here, Kazru. And Crimson Green. Hype's working. We got a whole bunch of these commands are working. And actually, I'm going to turn that off just so it's not covering up everything on the screen. Congratulations, Kazru. And the rock, paper, scissors game is working, so a whole bunch of stuff seems to be working again. Sorry, Twitchloff, I've got Hype on cooldown there. Okay. wiring up the commands meta stuff. Alright, now to track down that stupid memory leak, wherever that is. Nice thing is our interval messages came up almost immediately. I love that that was one of the first things that started working, so the bot gets to annoyingly message us in chat all the time about all the various stuff. Does this set of commands work? Discord. There's the link to our Discord. So if anybody is in here and hasn't yet, make sure you click the follow button so you get notified when we go live. And also, I highly recommend joining our Discord so you can chat with me and the other DevChatter viewers outside of the stream about various stuff related to coding. It's a pretty good group of people we've got there. If you want to find any of our code and see what we wrote here, the best place to do that is to go out to our GitHub, and we know a lot of our viewers actually just do go there and check out the code, so you can take a look out on github.com/devchatter. And if you want to see any of the videos that we've done here on the stream, you can find them here in the videos section on Twitch, or you can go to... oh, nice. That's cool. I had a breakpoint there for that. That's neat. That's the Rock, Paper, Scissors game ending, so that worked perfectly. Anyway, the YouTube video our YouTube videos are the archive of all of our old videos. So if you want to see the original stuff where we started our projects, anything like that, you can find those on youtube.com/c/devchatter. And then if you want to follow DevChatter on Twitter, I posted the link there. It's DevChatter and then an underscore. We couldn't get the basic one. Someone has that. Like, we have the domain name, but we couldn't get the Twitter, which is kind of stupid. I think it's like an unused account. I think people just parked accounts because Twitters are free. And if you want to follow me, I'm at Brendonius. Other things to mention. If you want to support our channel, great ways to do that are either subscribing, at which point you get cool stuff like our DevChatter hype emote, which is DevChatter hype. That little guy there, and then you also get an egg like you see the bot has, which will eventually grow into a little dinosaur like what you see next to my name. So those are subscriber badges. And Twitchlove, thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. Please have an egg. And enjoy your Twitch emote, our DevChatter hype emote. So if people have those, make sure you spam them in chat to welcome Twitchlove. Twitchlove now has an egg. And then we also have a Patreon for anybody who wants to actually majorly support the channel. And we have a merch store as well, so I'm actually getting some cool DevChatter merch stuff sent to me as well. So you should actually check it out because we have some pretty cool stickers and other designs. So we had our artist that did our hype emote do some additional stuff for that, so it should be good. Let's see. I agree with many things annoying about Oracle, but best not to get me started on that. Yeah, that's a good plan, Simon. We do not want to talk about that here. The egg is for subscribers, Triple Diamond, so if you are a subscriber of the channel, you get that little egg. So those are the people that help support DevChatter. And where is... I want to show the intermediate. So the egg is for just a subscriber. Let me see what I've got. The hatching egg is for a 3-month subscriber. And the fully grown out of the shell egg, out of the shell dinosaur, like what I've got. So you'll see those are the 3 different versions. So DevChatter bot has an egg, Brendonius has the hatching egg, and I've got a dinosaur that's out of the egg. So that's 6 months there is where DevChatter's is. So, which is cool stuff. And then the last thing I want to mention, we do a stream here. I need to schedule our next episode of it, but we do a series called Learn to Code in C#. So if you or anyone you know wants to learn C#, that is a place to do it. And we actually have a bunch of videos on there as well. So people can actually check out our old videos from the original one and follow through on those. So if you know anyone that's interested, I recommend you have them check that out. No, we're not wrapping up just yet. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that stuff because literally I wanted to do it at the beginning of the stream, but I broke the bot before we got started, so because I was doing all the dependency changes. So now that the bot's finally working, I wanted to go through and click all the buttons and send all the links and tell everybody about that stuff. But let's jump back to some coding and take a look at what is left to wire up. So some various stuff that we want to check. Our command list. So those are all the available commands. That's a whole bunch. So looks like they are working. This does not work for me. So sadly, that command does nothing to me. Crimson, did you see that I have a roulette command that's kind of like the one that you've got, sort of, but different? You should try it, Crimson, if you're still there. Okay. Everything's committed. Let's see if we can't track that down. I'm going to run this again. That builder stuff is done in some DI container. Came 10 minutes ago. Yes, that's a dependency inversion. It's an IOC container that we're using for this. And it's called Autofac, is the one that we're actually using here. And we need to sort out some things with it, because there are a couple of issues. So memory usage. That's big. Actually, I'm gonna let it fill up. Hang on. Stolpenner, you ran the roulette command. Nice. Pretty funny, huh? Wait a minute. Anybody else notice the memory didn't explode this time? Why did it not explode this time? It's like our memory leak didn't happen this time. But we didn't run commands at the beginning before. Well, hang on. It shouldn't have, because it was going right off the bat. Whoa! Alright, now I'm confused by that one. I don't know why, when we went to look for where the memory was getting used, we got nothing. Nothing. I'm gonna stop and restart this, actually, so we can get a better look at this. So I'm gonna try it again. Yeah, so what I was worried about is, like, what I was thinking is maybe once I get everything wired together, we won't have the circular dependency. Maybe we'll remove an extra thing when we realize we've got an extra. But it's gotta be. No, see, the memory leak's there. For some reason it stopped last time. So maybe the act of taking the snapshot ended whatever was going on and prevented the memory leak. So maybe we probably do have some kind of a circular dependency, and maybe the act of taking the snapshot is actually what stopped it from growing. So we're going to take a quick look at this and see what it is. So if you've never seen any of these memory tools, I have not used this one, but I have done some performance analysis stuff before. So let's see what it does. Almost as if it's growing, and so it's trying to keep up. Holy cow! Yeah, slightly big. Oh, I found it. There's our memory leak. Got it. I know what the memory leak is. That is awesome. That is fantastic. You guys are gonna laugh at this one. Alright. That is of my creation. Totally unrelated to Autofac, too. I don't know if anybody else figured it out. Yes, Punkus, so on YouTube, we only have a few of the videos are live of the Learn to Code series, but if you do check here, you will actually find on Twitch We currently have 7 episodes that we've done of our Learn to Code series. So 7 episodes that we've done here on DevChatter that are absolutely at a beginner level, so you do not need to have a lot of experience with programming or C# specifically in order to follow along. And they use VS Code the whole time. So yes, feel free to check them out and let us know what you think. So what is it? It's what do I call it? Interval message. It's these. These are the issue, everybody. This is the problem. It's the buffered message sender. This is where it's broken. So this is what got messed up. Cuddly Honey Badger. I love your name. Hi, welcome. The only thing I have consumed a lot of memory is a string-based Markov chain for a chatbot, and I don't need a memory tool to tell me storing a whole bunch of strings takes a lot of RAM. Yeah, Zarnel, that will absolutely cause you a problem. And thank you for that follow. How are you making so many of those? Cuddly Honey Badger, sure. I mean, it's a stream hug, which literally is like about as much as you're getting right now, but yeah, that's what I can get you. Sorry. Computers are not good for this thing. Feel free to hug your monitor, though. Or phone or tablet screen. I don't know what kind of computer you're using. Alright, so we either send the message or we queue the message. So there's the problem. Watch. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I just keep clicking the queue the message button here, and it just keeps on going. So we have something wrong with our logic here. Clearly. So that's our memory leak. We absolutely found it. Oh, yeah. That's right. If you just go to the videos section, the Learn to Code series is the top of the videos section. Are you starting from min time instead of time.now? Maybe. Just 1 second while I figure out where we called from. So we called from here. Message in the... So invoke that message. Run all ready actions. Ready actions. How many ready actions do we have? There should not be many. 2. So we have 2 ready actions that are ready to go. And when it invokes the interval message, the automated message, next runtime, what's it do? Am I using a date time now instead of a UTC now or something? UTC now. Cue the message. Huh. That's weird. Alright, hang on 1 second, everybody. Hey, sorry about that. I am back. Okay, so it's kind of annoying that it's doing that. Let's see if we can't figure it out. So when we go to run this, send message, last time I said queue the message. So when this one gets called by our interval message, not by our interval message, by our run already actions for these, we call invoke on this, and that invoke on an automated message does this. So we invoke it, it calls the buffered message, is already set its next... Oh, there's why. I'm betting it's that. Let me verify on our repository how it got declared. I have a guess. Hang on. 2 references to this. You should set up database. We create this repository. Set up repository gets called here. That's our iRepository. Register instance. It's a single instance of that. That should never change. Okay, that might work. Blue Spide, swamp the if. Let me see what you mean. Automated message. You're saying that when I do by buffered message send, you're saying in here swap the if? So if I swap it, if I invert it, we would say if now is greater than... If it's been more than a minute since the last time we sent, you can send it. Otherwise, queue it. We could write it this way if that makes it clearer, easier to see what's happening. I'm fine with inverting. Like the primary thing being send the message, and if we can't send it, queue it up. I think that does make more sense. I think you are correct there. Let's see, do we get our memory leak? We don't have the memory leak right now. It's not growing. I wonder if the change I just made fixed it. The way I can test it is by flipping it back, and we'll see what happens. So there we go. We're running 126 megabytes, which is big, but not scary big. I mean, I'm kind of surprised we have that much. There's something weird going on to have gotten to that level, but it's way bigger than our app should be. But it's definitely not a memory leak bad. So let's flip that back and see what happens. So we go to the automated message, and what we changed was I moved this up. If I move that back down and run this again, do we suddenly get the memory leak again? That's the question. Nope. 126 megs just seems big for this size of program. We're in .NET Core. Might just be all the various other dependent libraries that we had to pull in for various stuff. I don't know if there's an exact size I was expecting. Well, apparently one of those changes fixed it, and I don't know which one it was. So, oh, maybe it's the single instance on that. Let's see if we can't get that memory leak back. There it is. Boom. Got it. And put this back in here. Let's find out if we still have our memory leak. I'm betting that's what did it. And it's gone. There it is. Okay, so that change fixes the memory leak, apparently. I'm going to say fix memory leak. Something like that, Maureen. I'm not sure. I think it... So, what I think might have happened is it might have been getting us new instances of it each time, and so I think maybe it was grabbing the object out of the repository. I'm not 100%. When I was looking at it before, I was like, wait a minute, maybe if they did this? It was in my brain for a moment, and I was like, I should go check that. And so I did, and I'm not in the mindset right now to remember what I was thinking at the time. Single instance of repo. Give me a second while I commit this, and then I'll think back to see if I can get in that head again. Get in that headspace of what was going on, what was going through my mind at that moment. Tweak. Logic ordering in automated messages. But either way, I'm thrilled that the memory leak seems to just be gone now, so yay. Okay, so looking at that code that we were in, when we would send a message through our buffered message sender, here's what was happening. I think it was going in to check the time we'd last sent a message and saying, we've recently sent a message. So it was saying, okay, I need to queue this message that we have right now. And so that's what it was doing each time. And so, when we were running in our automated message system and it was saying we have a ready to action, it was saying, oh, I'm still ready to send this one. It hasn't been sent yet. And this list of actions is coming from, where is this list of actions? It is a list of I-interval actions. I wonder, is our automation system... Ooh, maybe there were multiple potential causes. Hang on. Where's startup? Did I close it? I think I might have closed it. There's a single instance of this, so that's fine. But then the list of actions that it has comes from a list of I-interval actions that get added in at the beginning. Start loop 1. Run already action, removes action, never run again, delay 2 seconds. run all ready actions is going to be running constantly. Remove things will never run again. When it's running this, we're looping over, and we are invoking the actions that are ready when they're ready. When we invoke an action on an automated message, we were coming in here and we were saying, set the time on this, and then how is it determining, is it time to run? Next runtime, which is based on that value, interval in minutes. Does this take in the repository? This takes in the repository. That's how, right here. It was giving us a new instance for every one of these little interval messages that we had. And so this was looping. That's why. It's because this needed the repository to run here, so we were getting a new instance for each one of these. That's what happened. Problem solved. Woo woo! Issue fixed. Yeah, so every one of these messages created a new one, and I think it must have been making new ones as it went. So we were just getting constant new repositories, because it makes these based on data out of the database. So, don't know. Not exactly. So, short explanation, we actually need to use the multi-tenant support of Autofac, because what we actually want to have is, we want to have a single instance of a repository for the bot, and separate instances per request for the website. So we actually need two different implementations. So for now, yes, we are using single instance for the entire app. However, we're going to change that so that we don't need it for the website. And you're probably used to getting a new instance for every request on a website. We're going to do that. That's the way it needs to be done. However, for the bot, because it needs to persist, having a single instance makes more sense. Alternately, I can get it out of here so we don't get the weirdness. There's a refactoring that we probably want to do with that. But let me try this. I'm going to run it without debugging, which means we won't be protected by Visual Studio keeping the app to the 2 gig maximum. We'll see if it spirals out of control, taking over all the memory on my computer again. So we'll find out if that memory leak happens or not. And I'm watching my memory footprint, and it's not doing it. And the stream's not becoming choppy, so I think we're good. I think we have resolved that issue. So, hooray. This branch is not ready to go in and be the master branch yet. As I mentioned, one of the things that we need to do is we need to get this modular. So, I will show you all what that means. Autofac modules. There is a class we need to implement called a module. That should be here-ish. So, basically what we want to do is we want to create modules that look like this. And basically all they are is a way of handling a set of dependencies. We just want to say, run that module. That's one of the modules that we do. So then in our general setup, we're just going to say builder register module. And we can register a whole module at a time. So we can say something like register the Twitch module and pass in a Twitch settings object like this. And then it will use that to register those items. And so that's how that will work. Let's start looking at that. And for now, so I want them eventually to live in their own project, but we'll do that eventually. For now, I'm going to create a folder called modules. So we're going to make the modules folder, and in the modules folder, we are going to make a new class, and we're going to call it Twitch module for now. And I want to wire up everything having to do with Twitch in here and call it a module. So this is going to be an Autofac module. And we're going to say override, whoops, public, override, override? It's not an override? You gotta be kidding me. How's it not an override? Come on, guys. Is it seriously not an override? What is it? Or is just IntelliSense failing me? Protected override void load. Okay. It was, but IntelliSense just didn't want to help me out here. That's it? Okay, cool. Good. So now, add Twitch. So this code here, that's inside of this little builder helper that we did, is actually just going to be part of this module instead. And this Twitch client settings property that we've got here, we're going to use the same pattern that they used in this example. Did I seriously close that again? And you guys should be yelling at me when I do that. Autofac module. Why did I do that? Don't close the window, Brendan. Okay, so it's a property. Alright, there we go. Twitch client settings property. What is this? Let's see. Simon. Yes, they currently use the same dependency registration, so that's actually how that works right now. Stoolpenner. What's the memory saying? Oh, and thanks for the heads up there, Crimson Green. I won't close that window, unless I already did. Did I already close the window? No, it's open. I didn't close the window. Yes, go me. Thank you for the reminder. I will try not to close it, still. So, there we go. That property is used here now. So this is the new way of doing that. Let's go to the previous code, which was right here. And let's get rid of this ugly piece of junk. Goodbye, little helper thingy. You served me well for a little while. So down here, I just want to say builder dot register module, and this is a module of type Twitch module. Is that what they recommend doing? That structure? Do they recommend something else? They want me to pass in a property. I guess if I want to pass in that property, that's the way I do it. So we're going to say new Twitch, whoops, Twitch module, and whoops, it doesn't have properties, it's got this. And we're going to say Twitch settings equals full config dot Twitch client settings. Boom! Register that module. Thank you. In place of that. See, Crimson Green even knows how to spell my name, although I guess it's written right here. If you have to pass a new instance of the module, why bother with the property and not just pass the dependency as a constructor parameter? Simon, that's a great question. The thing that is weird about that is that with the module, because of the way it works, I might need it something else. I might need it accessed without parameters on the constructor. Oh, well, there you go, Crimson Green. Which actually makes a lot of sense because so for anyone that doesn't know, Crimson Green's a redhead, which means he's Irish, which means that he probably has some relatives named Brendan, because you know, half of all the people that live in Ireland are named Brendan. That's not true. I made that up. It's not actually that common even in Ireland. That would allow you to encapsulate the state. Yes, Simon, that is correct. I should probably pass it in as a constructor parameter. Oh, weird. Yeah, configuration like that. Well, yeah, let's see what happens if we try. Well, let's do it this way. Then we'll try it with a constructor parameter. So we'll do it the way they said, and then we'll try it the other way. So let's take a look at this first. We'll do it the way that they suggested doing it, and we'll see what we get. So Crimson Green, you said, guess what you just did. What did you just do? Okay, so it does wire up this way. The chatbot is in here, so hype. Chatbot works. Hype, hype. All right. Next step. Let's kill the chatbot again. Be interesting to see if it breaks by changing. Exactly, that's what I'm wondering, Simon. I'm not sure if it will. It depends on whether something requires having an empty constructor here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this first to _t. Nope. And then I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to make this a private. So we're going to make this a private field, hence the name change. We're going to initialize it from the constructor, and then we can make it read-only. Will this reorder? Nope. So I'm going to put the field up there. There's the constructor. Down here we use it. And then over here at startup, I now need to do this. Whoops. It's alright, tooling tried to help me there. So then, now when I run it, let's see if it says hi in chat. Hey, you installed Visual Studio! That's awesome, Crimson Green! Yeah, so surprisingly there wasn't a base constructor that I had to deal with. But yeah, Autofac might need a parameterless default constructor was what I was thinking, so we'll see what happens with that. But the bot seemed to enter chat and work, so we'll call that good and go with that being the plan for any time we need to add in the settings. So that's pretty cool. Also, while I've got people here that might be new, I need to mention all my stuff, like suggesting that people join the Discord, because we like the Discord here. So let's see, creating module for I'll say for Autofac, we know what that is. Okay, so that's our Twitch module. Where's our here's currency. Okay, so so we're going to open up this. We are going to make a new class. Public class currency module. And we're going to say protected override void load container builder builder and create some curlies for that, and then let's get this its own file. There we go. Oh yeah, sorry. Did I what? Hang on. Did I actually close the bot? I must have actually killed the bot there, Crimson. Sorry. I probably did a build or something like that. If I build the bot, it disconnects it. So let's see. Jump back to startup here. Add currency system. So stole that. Then going to get rid of that. And go to our new currency module. Paste the code in. Allow it to bring those types in here. And there we go. Now those have been moved over to a module, so instead of doing this, we're going to register a module. And this one will be our currency module. Quit trying to help. There we go. I'll bring the bot back into chat. Alright, bot's back. So, things like our Discord and our Twitter. We have a YouTube channel. There's no social button there. What social would I have other than Twitter? What? Yeah, it's Twitter. It's not, yeah. Hang on. What are some good ones? Oh, like uptime. Uptime is a great command. Tells you how long we've been streaming. For anyone who hasn't seen, actually one of my favorite commands of ours is this one. Well, if you type it right. Ahoy is a place? So I typoed Ohio, and apparently it's a place, because it came back with Central European summertime. Huh. Stoolpenner. That actually just has to do with how I typed it when I put it in. So that's using whatever the default casing is for when it was put in there. There's no real reason. Oh, the Oslo House of Innovation. Cool, Crimson Green. Thanks for checking that for me. I assume you Googled for it. But that's kind of neat. So for anyone who hasn't actually seen that, what the schedule command actually did there is it actually can search for our schedule depending on where you are. Why did that not work? What is going on? Ugh. We're going to do this because I want to see what's crashing the bot there. Because clearly something's crashing the bot. Yes, clearly it's going to get you the schedule for that. So something crashes at some point. Either way, I love that schedule command. It's fantastic. I think the command you were going for there is roulette, Crimson Green. Roulette. Brave Cobra, hey, welcome. Wonk. Dead. Yeah, that command does not actually kill you or me, Crimson. Moderators in the channel can't actually get timed out, so... Either way, the new currency module probably works. Let's check it out. Coins. So the coins command does work. So, who's on top right now? What do we got? Arid tag still #1. Been holding that for a long time. Async awake. Janisku, coated beard, Crimson Green. There you go. We don't have gamble command, Crimson Green, although we really should at some point. That's something to build. Oh, Brave Cobra, that's great news. Hopefully all that went well. Interestingly, I also have sinus issues and other things like that that may eventually require surgery. So, coded program. Yeah, that's very cool. That is actually really awesome, Brave Cobra. Yeah, so I've had 4 different ENTs in my life, and they want me to get surgery also. More 6, Redux. I am not the guy to help you with that one. But there might be someone in chat that does know. It's worth checking. Okay, so, I think that's a pretty good spot. I'm waiting to see if the bot crashes at all, so that's why we're going to go ahead and leave this running. I just want to see if something messes with it. But what I did want to do was spend a little bit of time talking with everybody here in the chat. So, a couple of things that I want to cover. I'm going to close that window, Crimson, sorry. It is GitHub DevChatter. That's ours right here. So, one thing that I do want to mention to all of you that you may or may not already know, and that is that all the code that we do here on the stream is actually out on GitHub, so you can actually check out all of that stuff over there. This is where you can find everything we do here. So the project we're working on right now is this one, and this is the branch we're using, the Autofac one today. But if you want to find out other information about stuff that's going on, one of the best ways to do that is to check our stream info section here on GitHub. And our stream info page has a lot of cool and useful information. The stream that we are doing today is this one here. We are August 21st. There's nothing special about this day. Thursday, we are going to be doing some more coding. I haven't decided whether we're going to be on this project or on doing some programming challenges. It's going to be one of those two. This Saturday, we're doing our next episode of our Solid Saturdays. So we're going to look at the open-close principle, and I'm going to explain at the beginning of the stream how it works. We're going to go through a couple of slides, literally just a couple of slides. I think for Solid Saturdays this past Saturday, when we talked about the single responsibility principle, we did 4 slides where one was a title slide, one was the quick description, and then the next 2 were just lists of examples. So a real-world example and specific real-world example inside of our application. So that's actually what we were taking a look at on Saturday. We're going to do the same approach this Saturday, so we're going to take the first 5 minutes and talk about the open-close principle, and then talk a lot about a few examples, and then we're going to look at our code and look at the examples of following the open-close principle in our source code, so I can explain how it works and why we're doing it the way we are, which gives me 2 benefits. One, I get to talk to you about the open-close principle, and then the second benefit is that I get to talk to you about our code base, so you can better understand what we're building with our bot. So if you don't know our code base that well, this is another chance to learn a little bit more about it and how it works. And then, after we've talked about that, we're going to spend the rest of the stream writing code, and what we're going to do is we will talk about the open-close principle while we're building it. So we'll discuss how that applies to what we write. And so that's essentially what we're doing for our Solid Saturdays. So for the next handful of Saturdays, we are just focusing each one on a solid principle of object-oriented design. Next week is going to be a crazy one also, so mark your calendars because we are going to be doing 2 pair programming-ish kinds of things. So on Monday, we're going to have Chris Woodruff, who we rescheduled for August 27th, and then Cassandra Ferris is someone else that we rescheduled. So her appearance on our stream, her guest appearance here, has been moved to August 30th, and we're going to do our essentially discussion. We're going to talk about how to engage the developer community, how to get involved in things, whether it be local or through the internet, things like that. So essentially it's just going to be a stream where I talk to Cassandra, she gives us advice, and we pick her brain for ideas and things like that. So it should be a lot of fun. And that is what we're going to do on that Thursday. Trying to think if there's anything else big that I need to mention regarding that stuff. Oh, yeah, yes, Brave Cobra. You're here to... you were not here at the beginning of the stream, because we started the stream hours ago. If you want to make sure, so pro tip, if you want to make sure that you don't miss the beginnings of our streams, the best way to do that is to make sure that you, let me show you. When you're here, and actually I can't show you there, if you are following us, you have this icon up at the top. When you bring that down, you can actually turn, so I have them off right now because it's me, but you can click this to turn on notifications, and that will enable notifications for the stream. So that way you can actually get a notification, so you're not just following, but it will alert you when we go live. So you'll get a little message. It's going to say something along the lines of, it's dangerous to code alone, or something like that. So that's the best way to make sure that you don't miss our streams. For the most part, they start around the same time every day. It's the afternoon for me. I know it's the evening for a lot of people in Europe. And if you need to know what the schedule is in your time, so you can put it on your calendar or whatever, you can actually ask our bot and either pass in your UTC offset. So mine, I'm at UTC -4. But if you don't know that, just say where you are. So, for example, someone might live in Oslo, and you can just say schedule Oslo, and hey, boom, it'll tell you. Or maybe, you know, you're one of the English viewers of our stream, and you could say schedule England, and it will tell you that as well. So, pretty cool. And there you go, Twitchloft. So, wouldn't it be nice if the bot would respond to a whispered command so you don't have to spam chat? Blue Spide, actually no. But part of the reason why I like that the spam chat is because it is a cool feature that I want people to see. So yes, in the future it would be useful to have that go as a whisper, but it's a really neat feature, and so I want people to know that that works that way. So if I hide it away in chat, it doesn't show it off. If I hide it in a whisper. But some things we do want to have in a whisper, and we actually already have whispering implemented, so we can do that. There is another feature that I want to talk to you guys about that we have, that I want to get working. So there's something else that has been on my log to get to forever. We have a branch that's sitting out there, and I recently went on a little a warpath, taking out all of the extra branches that we had sitting around. And I have not gotten rid of all of them yet. There's still a number surviving, and I need to get rid of some more, but one of them is this one. So we have our mud branch, and this one is a very interesting one that I want to work on. So one of our viewers started a multi-user dimension application, which is a text-based adventure, and I want to continue and complete the adventure that he created. So essentially making it so that we can run this together. If you are in our Twitch, you may have noticed something interesting. So you're in the stream chat. That's where this discussion's taking place. But if you click on rooms and pull this down, you'll notice there's a mud room. And a long time ago I said this is where the bot could play the mud game. And so what I want to do is I want to make it so that we can all play a text-based adventure together with auto-generated levels, and we can play it inside this chat. So that is the end goal, is that we would do things like, you know, pick up sword, you know, attack, you know, something, right? And so we might do like move north, these types of things. So the spot up here, if you pull down rooms, you can see there are other rooms. So that's what we've got. So it's pretty cool. Let's see, so many chat badges in here. Bot site, nice notification on current chat. Where is the chat window? When you import you... Oh, and if people want to chat about stuff like that, like solving problems and things like that in chat, I recommend you move it over to our Discord, as it's a little easier so it doesn't clutter things up in here. if you're going to talk about stuff that's not the stream, that's a pretty good spot to look for it. So, interesting. My memory just kicked up. I'll have to look at that. I'm going to take a snapshot. We're going to figure out what that was. Yeah, Brave Cobra, so our memory leak might have kicked in again. So we'll have to dig into that and see if we can't figure it out. So it sounds like we've got something else fun to look at. Anyway, I want to wrap up the stream right now, so I want to make sure I thank everybody and point out all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you check out our Discord, check out our GitHub, take a look at YouTube for stuff, and you can follow us on Twitter. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'm at Brendonius. In addition, if you want to learn about coding with us, so if you are one of the beginners, we do a special series on here that I just linked in the chat that is about learning C#. So if you or anyone you know is interested in learning C# and would qualify as a beginner either with C# or programming in general, we have a whole series of episodes. We've done 7 so far, and I will be scheduling more, but those are not on the calendar yet. And we will be doing that. And if you want to get any cool stuff that is branded with DevChatter hypeness and craziness, this is the place to do it. We have some mugs. I'm still waiting to get mine, and various other things like stickers and such that are absolutely awesome. So if you want to support the channel and get cool stuff, that is the way to do it. And if anybody is interested, we also have a Patreon that I eventually set up because people yelled at me to actually get a Patreon set up. So that's what that is in there. Okay, let's see. I think I got everything covered. What else do I need to mention? Is there... Clicking on that. No, I think I got everything. What is this? Oh, right, yeah. Cool. So, yeah, awesome. So, if people want to continue discussing stuff outside the stream, I will be in Discord. I'm often in there, so as Janiscu says, he did the link as well. I really do recommend people check that out, and our next stream will be on Thursday. And I also want to mention to people that the, I'm actually going to be a guest on another stream tomorrow, so if you want to catch that, I will be there. I'm actually going to help another streamer building his bot that's going to be similar to ours, so I'm going to give him a little bit of advice from someone that's got experience with this already. That should be fun. You can watch for information about that. I will be tweeting about it on the Twitters at Brendonius. So if you want to take a look and do that, I will have links there tomorrow. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's it. So I will see you all on Thursday. Keep in mind on Thursdays we start early, so the stream will start about 5 hours before whatever time it is right now. Thank you for that follow, Frankie. So take a look at your clock, subtract 5 hours, and that's what time we start on Thursday. So it's a little bit early, and I will catch you all then. Let me go ahead and start this thing real fast. Close all documents, and I will click the... where is it? The credits button. There we go. Let's roll those credits. Thank you, Casru, for the single bit, and Crimson Green and S&B for helping out moderating today, and Frankie Stein's World 20 Vior 95 Mafia M Idiot Olympic Tectonic user, and I missed one person, and Twitchlove for the sub. Wait, Crimson Green, what am I waiting for? Don't leave. Okay, I haven't left yet. I haven't left yet. Why am I not leaving, Crimson? What am I waiting for? Waiting. Catherine. Retro Bear, take care. Have a good one. Oh, and for anyone that is wondering, if there's anyone in my chat that knows any executives or any other people at Pepsi, that'd be useful, because I did I need to get a Pepsi sponsorship here. This channel's not sponsored by Pepsi, but man, would it be sweet if we were. Oh, hey, there you go. Crimson Green bought a DevChatter I'm coding mug. Well, yeah, Stool Penner, like you gotta do like a waiting thing. Well, I'm waiting. So that's pretty awesome. So Crimson Green bought one of the DevChatter I'm coding mugs. So someone get him a Coke sponsorship real fast. More Reed, I guess I wouldn't complain about a Coke sponsorship, as long as they actually got me like free beverages or something. That'd be probably pretty good at least. So awesome. So Crimson Green gets to be the I'm coding mug. Who doesn't want an I'm coding mug? I mean, seriously. Need better overlays for Jadisku, for what? Overlay for the mug purchase thing? I have not customized the merch store stuff yet, so yeah, exactly. So that is the plan. Mine's I still don't have mine yet. I'm planning on using it on stream, so should be good. Anyway, thank you all for showing up, hanging out, chatting, and making the stream good. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, and we will be doing some more coding on Thursday. I might do some more before then to try and get some of these dependencies sorted out, or if any of you want to take a crack at it, you are all welcome to take a look at the code and send us a pull request if you want to make some changes. So we will gladly accept those. Just try to get them in before the next time I'm coding. So anyway, take care. Later, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. Happy coding, and thanks for being here.